Y'all take your phones in the bathroom?
Yes.
I'm so glad we haven't
absolutely.
started yet.
Honestly, that's probably why I'm. Why?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to D&D with your friend Tachi. For all the people that are here already, which is no one.
You have friends besides us?
Wow.
Speak proudly into the void,
Always.
Yes, indeed.
and hope that the cruel specter of time does not render this ironic, as hundreds of people judge you in the past.
Honestly.
That was beautiful.
I mean,
Yeah, it's almost like I do
sounds
more
about
of this
right.
than Tachi does, but let's move past that.
I mean, you're right.
Listen, we're rusty.
We're crusty.
You're rusty.
Yes! I said
Yeah,
we're.
no,
As
who's we?
Me!
Okay.
No, might be crusty.
He's saying the royal we.
Is you speaking French?
I am.
We, yeah.
Oui, oui.
God damn it.
We, pee.
Mon ami.
I haven't had alcohol yet.
Friends will do that to you.
Yeah.
I like to imagine Tachi's just cutting all of this. He's just
Cutting. You think he knows how to use editing software? That's why he's a streamer.
I do know how to use editing software. Thank you very much.
Damn.
But yes, it is currently set to stream starting soon.
Yes, I know, because I'm waiting for people to get in here before I throw up the good screen.
Ew.
Oh, my dyslexia saved me.
What happened?
Well, because when I typed Grom in Photoshop, apparently I typed Brom anyway.
Oh yeah! Woo!
nice.
Yeah, now the only thing that's wrong is the only thing that's wrong is the wizard's HP.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
He'll still die in a, stiff breeze.
I don't even know if we're getting into combat in Session 0.
Yeah, Session
No.
0 is more...
Don't
Well,
tempt anything.
fair enough.
As far as I
I
understand,
mean, I'm ready to go.
setting
As am I.
expectations, introducing things.
Hold on.
So, was it already discussed if we would already know each other, or if we were going to meet up in this session?
You are
you're not
going to
Sure,
meet.
we are just going to get crashed into it.
Quite literally.
Fair enough.
Oh, we're right.
Crashed into it.
Crash.
Into me.
Oh yeah. Since I
Crash.
circled all the way back around, I have to... Yeah, it's fine. Parsed out later.
Hello, everyone. We're just giving a couple minutes for some people that were here for the testing that are gonna come back, hopefully.
If they were real people.
It was Calyx,
Oh.
so Calyx is definitely a real person.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, as far as we can tell, since we live in a simulation and all.
I mean,
And are any of us real?
No.
Very true. I'm definitely fake.
I mean, yes, you are, but that's not the issue right now.
I haven't seen you and yourself in the same room together.
Very true. So you know what? I
Yeah.
could just be an MCC,
Got a point
spawned by
there.
the universe to
I
plague
know I
you.
You're doing a bad job.
Damn. The universe
Damn,
needs
that's
updates.
crazy how everyone has 16 AC. For Daniel and I.
Oh, wait,
We're
is
the
the,
front line. It does have 7. Well, I have 14, but that 14 is fake.
wait, is the overlay up already?
Oh,
Yeah,
I just
I
saw
have
the
it.
stream
I'm
announcements. I can see the preview and I can see the overlay.
yeah, because I accidentally had it up.
So
Yeah, you flashed up the overlay on accident.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah, who was it that had... Well, for League, your AC is 14, isn't it? Except unless you're using...
it's 14 until I use Mage Armor, which will
That's
be
what I thought.
as soon as anything actually dangerous happens, and then I will become 17.
So for the sake of the overlay, should I just leave it at 17?
No, leave it be at 14. Confuse the people.
Yes.
They don't deserve to know.
I guess you'll verbally say you're using mage armor. I guess people will understand. It's okay.
Where is this overlay? I want to look at it.
Perhaps on the stream.
Once it's off the stream starting soon screen.
Okay.
I mean, I could also just drop it in chat. I mean, suppose.
I mean, yes, you could.
At least that way
Cool.
people can look at the images and be like, "No, that's fucking wrong." Probably better than watching it.
What did I do?
Give
You
me
know what you
false
did.
information.
I did not. I literally gave you access to everyone's sheet. How could I give you false information?
That's true. If I did things wrong, it's technically on you. I said to verify that their sheets are correct, so that was your responsibility.
You know what? That one's fair. I'll give you that one.
I
These
think
characters-
everyone here is just failing forward.
Yeah, exactly.
That is literally the human race.
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh, okay, so it's this thing.
Yeah, well, don't worry.
Oh.
We'll get more into it later.
Literally
Also-
wacky multi-classes.
I mean, maybe you won't notice, but I noticed and I need to fix it. I just realized I have the physical attributes and the mental attributes like randomized, and it really bothers me.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
is it
they're
different
not-
between each person?
No,
it's just that there's not the physicals on the left and the mentals on the right.
Yeah, I think I
Like
intended
con
to do
and
that,
like
and-
con and int are flipped, but also,
No, yeah, it's just con and int.
Yeah, no, what? This isn't even. It's not even in any way you look at it in the natural order of stats either.
You
No, it needs to go-
it's not in alphabetical. It's not.
I'm just saying, I just realized it, and I need to fix it. Is all.
Look, we have another overlay planned for next
I
session.
had to whip this up in less than an hour, guys. I'm sorry.
Yes.
No,
That's a fair enough.
you could have had much longer if whatever. We'll
I-
go all
Hachi
day.
didn't say he wanted one until literally an hour before
Yes.
session.
Yeah,
Yes,
and that's
it-
Hachi's fault.
It is, and I'm not denying that. I literally opened up OBS to do all the pre-stream checkup, make sure everything was working, everything, and it opens up with the overlay, and I'm like, ah, shit. Let me get Shad, see if this is possible before session, before I force him to do it. And he's like, yeah, we could. I'm like, okay, cool.
Alright, well, I'm ready.
Everyone ready? Then we can get into this. Sent Calyx a message, so that's the main one I wanted to make sure we got. But they are also playing the finals, so they may join us after the game. So,
Wunderbar.
we can just get right into it. Welcome,
Don't forget to
everyone.
press record.
It's recording. I hit that before we started. Actually, there's a fun setting I discovered that's as soon as you hit go live, it automatically starts recording.
Zesty.
Oh.
I like
So-
it.
Neat.
That will be great. Anyway, hello everyone. I'm gonna actually pause the music, or at the very least turn it down.
This isn't like Critical Role music, is it?
No, it's
Alright.
copyright free.
I mean, it sounded kind of similar to.
I mean, they could be using copyright-free shit
Yeah.
also.
They could.
That would be
Back when
hilarious.
they were using just Morrowind music for like the
Well,
longest
no,
time.
I was saying, there was a while where they were using like Skyrim music and stuff, and like,
Wouldn't be surprised.
I
I
mean,
think
yeah,
it's because they had like a deal with them, regardless.
Yeah, they
oh,
did.
that's nice.
And wow.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel where we're going to be streaming a new campaign here at the at Tachikaze Kuro. But this is actually something new. We're not doing any of the established D&D worlds or even any of the side worlds they've done like Theros or anything like that. This is a custom creation done by yours truly, and you, the viewers, are not going to be the only ones seeing it for the first time. The players are going to be exploring the world side by side with you. So, the players know very little, so strap in and let's enjoy the ride as we go. Real quick, we do have a couple different people from last time. Mainly, we have lost Tassus from last campaign. We are just swapping in with the gentleman who played Sigmund, if you watched the one-shot that we did a couple months ago. That's pretty much the only roster change from Theros that we have to worry about. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We have one more. We have added, who were you playing in the one-shot?
In the one shot?
Yeah.
I was. Actually, that's a good
Well, actually,
question.
you've been part of the both one-shots. I should, actually.
I was Garm.
You were Garm, okay. And we lost Buddha, who was Galteus. So we've done 2 roster changes since we did Theros.
Roster change, also called different friends being available to play.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it goes.
Yeah, it
As
happens.
above, so below.
Hello, Calix. It has been almost 3 years.
What the? No, wait! Don't you dare say that to me.
After 10,000 years.
It's been about 2.
Man, I can't believe it's been 7 years.
Theros ended in 2022.
Stop!
Man, that was a decade ago.
Jesus
Alright.
Christ. I mean, you're
hate
not wrong,
knowing-
but at the same time, you're so wrong.
I did
It's
see your
been
sub
84
notification.
years.
Thank you for the 34 months, Calix.
My infant knees.
Oh no.
Okay,
Concha, you never gave me a name for that place. I just realized it looking at the map.
yeah, I know.
Oh, there are places without names.
There are
No,
places without names.
It's specifically the place with a name that was the placeholder.
Well,
Which one?
so
The pun, Tachi. The awful pun.
The one at the
Oh, I said we're just keeping it. I just said we're keeping it.
Cool.
All right, everyone. So we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. And welcome to session 0.
Boom.
Yay. Woo.
How you like it?
it hasn't started yet.
We haven't started yet, so let's go ahead and move over to where the players or the viewers can see the world map. So, our players have found
Boom.
themselves in the world of Ellithys, a high fantasy realm full of magical anomalies from an event that happened several thousand years in the past. There was an
2020
event.
to be precise.
I'm gonna mute you all. In my world intro, how dare you?
My apologies.
The world was shattered and torn apart by a powerful lich that the players in the first one-shot were not able to stop. After that event, the world was changed forever, and our players helped establish a few different communities. Notable among them were the continent of Ellithys, which is what the plane is named after, and the continent of Kalden, a continent directly to the south of Ellithys that some of our players are from. So when we mention those, we'll talk a little bit more about Kalden. After that event, magic was so powerful, and having been ripped directly from the thread, some bits of it cause anomalies and distortions within the world all around. It's been thousands of years and not all of the anomalies have been found. So that is going to be one distinct difference that you will see in this realm. In addition, we do use a variant feat system, so you will hear some things mentioned that are not a typical feat that you hear or see in like the player's handbook or in Tasha's guide. We also have a few custom-made subclasses made by one of the players. The player,
Welcome.
yes, the player playing Leaked. So once we have that book kind of finished, because he is working on making a book, we'll get you that information if it's something you're interested in.
It'd be more like a PDF, not a book, but
I mean, it depends on how crazy I go, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. For now, we just have about 3 or 4 of our players are using those subclasses, and we'll discuss more about them when those abilities become relevant. just kind of getting all that information out of the way, let's go ahead and get into character introductions. Who wants to go first? Any volunteers before I voluntold you?
I just wanted to ask a clarification first. You said that event in the one-shot happened like thousands of years ago. I thought it was hundreds.
No, the other one
The
shot.
first.
Yeah,
The-
there
the-
There was
the very
another
first
one I wasn't here for. Right?
Yes.
The
Right.
first one that made the whole setting possible. And
Yes.
then the second one, which was one that happened just,
Yeah, like
somewhat more recently.
like 100 or so years ago.
I just wanted that clarification because I didn't know.
Yep, there was a one shot before you. Daniel is the only person here who was in that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I know nothing about that one shot.
Our elder.
God, I'm old, aren't I?
What's funny is that
I
one
mean, I
shot.
didn't mean.
That one shot was like 4
That was
years
5K.
ago now.
No one remembers.
yeah, yeah.
We'll,
Is
we'll find a
lost
summary
to
in a book.
time.
Yeah.
We'll find it like it's a Skyrim book.
I mean, the event that happened is world known, and 3 of the members of that are remembered throughout history as saviors. One is forgotten, or forgotten/reviled.
And you can reference him by calling people a silver sucker, which is synonymous for coward.
Yes, actually.
I was reading up on my little lore notes right
I
before
want
session.
more notes to read up on Tachi. What the fuck?
Okay.
Have Andrew send you his.
I mean,
Yes, please, actually.
The reins
Okay.
already started. Pull the reins.
Yes.
all right.
All right.
Later.
Who wants to introduce themselves?
Are we
First.
just raw dog in the intro or not even getting a setting first?
We'll
much.
it's whoever wants to go first. We'll get in. We'll get there because none of you are
I'll
together
bite the
right
bullet.
now.
I'll bite the bullet.
Yeah.
All right, real quick. Introduce yourself and your character, and then we'll get into the proper introduction.
All right. Well, my name's Andrew, also known as Sudden Fish in the Discords, and I will be playing Alciofo, who is a Topaz Dragonborn artificer / School of Toxicology wizard, which my friend made. I can't remember which.
Well,
I'm sorry. I get John and Dylan confused all the time. I don't know why.
It's-
All the subclasses are made by Dylan.
Yeah.
Dylan. Okay, so
yes,
they were made by
all
Dylan.
of them.
Yeah.
Okay, embarrassing mental defects aside, the kind of defining feature of Alciofo's appearance is that he is a gem dragonborn, so he's kind of shiny to look at. He's got prominent ear fins on the side of his head, and a couple of floating dorsal spikes on top of his head and the back of his head. And he's usually wearing thick goggles and thick gloves, and he likes to experiment with venoms and toxins and oozes and weird caustic materials like that.
All right. So, Alciofa, we come into where you usually spend your time, which is in the potions department in the capital of Ellithys, the College of Magical Studies, kind of overlooking the normal town, the castle kind of about a few hundred yards away. You are there experimenting on something. You've just recently gotten a couple interesting poisons brought to you, some black pudding essence brought to your lab to test on with the head of the potions department.
You
And there-
should have
When there is a
black pudding essence.
when there is a knock at your door,
We're gonna, put down the vial, grit teeth, and open the door.
standing in front of you in what looks to be just kind of like a very simple leather outfit is someone you just recognize as like a page of the guards. He hands you a note and just says, you've been summoned to report in, Mr. I don't want to pronounce it poorly, but I wasn't told how to pronounce your name.
Alciofo will kind of cock his head at the offered document, shrug his shoulders, and take it, and kind of close the door in the guy's face.
You're welcome! And he just kind of shuffles off. I assume you open the letter that was given to you?
Absolutely.
You open it, and there is indeed. It's a very simple document. It is just, you have, it's basically just telling you, hey, you have an adventurer's license. Time to go do some adventuring. There is a wonderful, easy mission available to you. You have to report to Crossroads, because that is where your representative in the guards currently is. He has the mission for you.
All right. He will start getting his things in order, start packing up, pen a short letter to his brother, and he'll leave that where his brother can find it on the way out of town.
All right. It's going to take you a couple weeks, so you are definitely the first to not only get the summons, but first to leave. And as we kind of pan out from the beautiful white marble kind of buildings in the capital with the perfect kept gravel roads, we're going to pan out just a little bit and land kind of more in the area of the capital that's where the college is, but where it's connected to the guards' barracks, where we're going to see a somewhat fit-looking individual, kind of longer hair, with a wooden sword in hand, looks to be practicing some martial forms just to keep themselves kind of remembering everything, as Leaked. Could you introduce yourself?
Okay. Standing there about... What did I write down? I should have had this. That is my fault. About 5'8". Practically, legally, a little person. Leaked is holding what looks like a wooden sword, more like a full-size, wooden claymore. A solid, 5.5 feet long. That he swings it like it's weightless. And after a couple of strikes, that even though the wooden blade should be, kind of sharp, it's still a bludgeoning instrument. It still strikes flat. At the pommel of what the sword, quote-unquote, would be, is a little casting focus, like an orb that he kind of has set in there. And after a sigh, he'll wrap it up in a white cloth, crossing over the cross guard and going down the blade. And when he places it on his back, it looks like a more traditional casting staff that he can unfurl. He is a bit paler in complexion, with these glowing golden eyes, this long billowing brown hair that has these streaks of golden blonde that grow erratically across his hair. He is dressed in very simple, loose-fitting traveling type clothes, and as he stops his swinging, he throws a light traveling jacket on, a simple brown jacket.
All right. As you're kind of heading in, very similarly, a page will have met with you. Just a, forewarning of just your adventuring license has been pulled. You need to report to Crossroads immediately, and he's going to hand you the letter and kind of zip off.
Leaks will just tear it open, confirm the contents.
Yours actually has a signature Yours is more of a direct letter. As you are somewhat familiar with the guards, considering your heritage, the name kind of written is Ferric. It's kind of, you recognize the handwriting, and the signature at the bottom is from a Ferric. The letter just reads, have an easy mission for you to kind of ease into adventuring proper. Might spiral into something more, but need people I can trust with this. Meet me at Crossroads. I'm gathering a few individuals for something. Signed, Ferric Fireheart.
Okay.
Which you would know he is one of the more trusted higher-ups in the guard/standing army of Ellithys. His mother is renowned in the courts as close to the queen, but does not have an official political title. His father passed away in the war that happened at Shatterkeep, or his grandfather passed away. Sorry, not his father. In the war a couple hundred years ago, and his family has gotten some notoriety from that, and then the actions of his father before that. He has a reputation for being honorable, but not to the point of he will make wrong decisions. He's known as being very capable.
Alright. Well, regardless of who he's from, he'd probably still show up, considering this is like the fantasy equivalent of jury duty. But the wording is interesting, to Leaked at least. He'll do his normal cleanup and then set out.
Right. Same with Alciofa. You have the farthest to go. So you receive your letters kind of early, so it takes you a good while to go to the city of Crossroads. And as we leave the capital for good, we're going to move down towards the watery side city of Visaria. At the docks, there's the sounds of fishermen pulling in their wares for the day. Some of the merchant vessels kind of shouting at docks hands to, pull their weight, don't drop any of the cargo. The smell of salt water everywhere, as it's just a hustle and bustle of a port town. Kind of sitting at his father's shop, working on new project that's kind of come in, kind of just casually. Brian, could you introduce yourself?
Of course. So I'm Shadow. I'll be playing, also known as Addercap in the Discords, and I'll be playing Brine. Brine is a large, towering Goliath, as all Goliaths are, of course. He has ashy skin with dark, the dark Goliath markings, also kind of weaved in with some what look like seafarer tattoos, kind of just intricately placed all, in various spots, anchors, fish, ropes, all kinds of fancy markings. From afar, you know it's Brian because he's one of the Goliaths that likes to grow out his hair. Taking a look at him, it's unmistakable. He has 2-foot-long dreadlocks that cascade kind of down his back, mixed with baubles and beads, and all kinds of things braided in, like one you'd expect of someone who probably has spent a lot of time on the sea. He has heavy facial hair, which is also kind of braided with other beads as well. All over his body are scars of just various kinds, things that came from creatures, sword fights. He looks like a weathered adventurer, though he doesn't look probably above, anywhere near middle age. He still seems very young, but has seen a lot. He doesn't really wear much. He's currently, just in his shop apron with, some baggy pants, and then heavy leather boot. Yes, just one boot, because the other leg of his pants actually wrap around a tight wooden stump that extrudes from just below his knee. He is, of course, sitting at his forge working on his chains like he normally does for his father's ships.
Okay. So similarly, as you're kind of just working on everything, you decided to rejoin the adventuring life, and you're still kind of new to coming back to this world. You're excited for a new adventure again, and as you're kind of working on this final order, your father comes in. Kind of unexpectedly. You didn't expect him to come back until a little bit later, because he was supposed to be getting materials. And he just kind of looks a little bewildered, and he's just like, some little human boy handed me this to hand to you.
And to me. And then I'll reach out and grab it, of course.
Yeah, and it's the same letter that the others have gotten of just, there's being a few adventurers are being called together for a mission. You have to come to Crossroads to, meet the party, get the kind of rundown, and it's the same kind of letter of it. This is supposed to be an easy kind of starter mission.
Well, it's about fucking time. Well, gotta leave it to you, Pops.
And your dad just kind of nods as he looks down, and he's like, I was waiting for you to get the hell out of here. I don't need you for this anyway. I was doing just fine before you came back.
You always say that, but welcome me back just as gracefully.
He'll give you a hug as he gives you kind of what money he had left over from spending money for the materials today. He gives you about 5 silver. And he's like, be safe out there. I expect for you to come back home.
I will. For, in the same amount of pieces I am now.
Don't promise that. The last time you did, you came back without a leg.
I'm getting around just fine. Now, I'll scoop up my material, the stuff that has already been kind of packed away for a good minute. I've been definitely waiting for this moment for a while. He'll scoop up his gear, and he will head on out.
We will move down to the borders as we leave this area. We have an individual kind of hiding out right now as they're kind of searching for something they have very little clue on. They were simply told what it looks like and that it's not where they're from. Waiting in the town of Aten Hut, we have Horus, kind of new to the continent of Ellithys, from the land of Kalden, just wondering where their master is kind of trying to find something. And as they're pondering that, Daniel, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. My name's Daniel. I'm Tabby Rezer in the chat, and I am Tabula Resta in Discord. Karis is an Earth Ganassi. Is that the proper pronunciation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Ganassi, okay. But yes, she is a 6'1", but she's not the typical broad-shouldered Earth Ganassi. She seems like a build that would be more suitable for a water Ganassi. She's more slender, but she's still tall. She has clothing consisting of what seems like a bikini top, flowing wide-legged pants, and a wide decorative waistband supporting it. She's adorned with a number of leather cores and belts and wears solid-colored thick coat over her shoulders. It's orange. She normally wears no shoes, but she's currently wearing some woven sandals. She has a hair drawn into a large braided ponytail, and she wears a thick headband. She has an angular face, decorated with a large nose and deep copper eyes under moderately thick eyebrows. She is currently frowning as she's thinking of her master. She was hoping to find him or what he's looking for, but she's currently having no luck on either.
As you're kind of pondering, I assume you're just kind of in an inn, just like you've gotten here, you've gotten all the documentation you've needed to get done, and you're just kind of sitting here like, now I don't know what to do. And as you're kind of pondering that, a soldier, kind of lightly armored individual is going to come in and walk to the job posting board. And he's just going to take a piece of paper and a knife and just boom, stab it into there. And he's just going to look at the people here. And he says, anyone with an adventuring license, I don't feel like fucking doing this. Take it. And he's just going to leave. As a few other people kind of crowd it, you notice that no one seems to want to do it.
Well, Karis cautiously stands up and goes over to the knife to notice on the board, you said?
Yeah.
Yes. She peers at it and looks what it says.
It is simply described as, it was addressed to a Marcus, but that's most likely the guard who left. Needed for an escort mission. Please come to Crossroads to assist.
Well, I mean, she pokes someone in the shoulder who's nearby. Where is Crossroads?
If you go further north, this town, all the roads converge there. That's why it's called Crossroads.
Makes sense. Well, I mean, yeah, sure, why not? She immediately grabs the dagger and grabs the notice. Wait, where do I go?
The dwarf that you were kind of speaking to just kind of, he points, he's like, you see the road leading out of town? You go there, you're going to take a left, and then...
What? Yes, but I'm supposed to escort someone to there or from there?
Let me look at it.
Here.
He's like, you'll know, look for the biggest group of weirdos. Typically when adventurers get called, there's always a few weirdos. They'll find the biggest group of them, that's likely where. And if it's not, they'll point you to the next group of weirdos.
You know, that's fair enough. She gathers her things because she was still wondering if she was actually going to stay in this inn, and she just walks out the door.
And as we pan out from that, as you and Brian have about the same travel, you two will get there in roughly a week, a little bit more. We're on to the one who's already in Crossroads. Brahm, could you introduce yourself?
Brahm is a very typical looking middle-aged dwarf. Also, I'm John. I go by Spiral King on the Discord. I'll be playing Brahm. Very typical middle-aged looking dwarf with some kind of salt and pepper hair, usually put up in a ponytail without a super long beard, but enough of one to cover his face, as any good dwarf should. He's typically seen lounging around pretty lazily around parks or just on like the outskirts of town, sometimes maybe bumming around an orchard that a farmer owns. Doing little odd jobs for towns here and there that he passes through to get by, always seeming to just be on the lookout for the next interesting little distraction in his life. And right now he is sat up in a hammock in between two trees, just kind of off of one of the main roads in Crossroads. He just kind of has set up on the side of the road with a small little fire that he set up, most likely without permission of any sort of guard or anything, so he would probably be yelled at sooner or later, but he seems to be brewing a small little pot of tea or some such, just lounging very lazily about.
Speaking of being told off by one of the guards, as you're kind of brewing and everything, you hear the sound of armor kind of moving, like the sound of someone moving in some armor as a soldier approaches you. But as you kind of look up to see him, you recognize who it is. It's the current leader of the detachment of soldiers here. It is Ferric Fireheart. He's, every interaction you've had with him, he's been very kind and polite, and he's just kind of looking at you, just kind of like, really?
Brahm is just kind of opening one eye, just looking at him, quickly looking down at the fire, looking back up to him, just kind of back and forth kind of quickly with his lips kind of pursed, just like, you gonna stop me? You good? Kind of look on his face.
He's going to pull out a cup and just slide it over to you. So as long as you have enough for me, I don't mind.
That's why I always make 2 servings. And he'll lean over, just barely balancing himself from falling off to grab the pot and pour some into his little wooden cup as well as the guards.
Ferric is going to sit on the ground next to you, and he's just going to say, "So, I don't know if you've actually heard. There's been an interesting development that I need some talented individuals for."
Right, so do you need me to babysit a group of adventurers so they don't get themselves killed?
Yes. Mission should be easy. And I don't
Hold
have...
that thought a moment. And Brahm grabs a small little pouch around his waist, opens it up, and just peers in to see about 3 coins inside. And then just ties it back up and just motions for him to continue. Just okay, I'll hear you out.
He's going to just say, "So, first, I don't have guards to send on this, so otherwise I would likely have sent at least 1 or 2 with you. But about a week ago, someone appeared in town, kind of screaming his head off late into the night, just terrified out of his mind. We've got him in protective custody for himself. There's some interesting reports from him. Obviously, I'm going to let you adventurers talk to him when the entire group is collected, but he's claiming that he's from a city that would be in the Red Forest."
Are you sure this wasn't a local farmhand that got a little too excited with their mushroom wine?
The guards on duty said he appeared in front of them, just out of the blue.
Fine. Brahm just kind of starts almost shooing at the fire, and magic just very crappily just starts sputtering it out, all very half-hearted attempt at everything. And he gets up and starts to put away his little hammock as he lets the guard continue talking.
The others should be here soon, within a few days. And I just wanted to get you on board. And to let you know that the gentleman involved is claiming to be a wizard, and that this is not anything he recognizes. You'll find out more. This is one of the weirdest scenarios I've ever seen.
Well, arcane anomalies aren't exactly my forte, but I'm sure someone else that you're hiring has enough experience.
You want to know the biggest kicker?
Hmm.
He was looking at maps in our library, and he's found one that looked to be accurate to his memory. It was a pre-sundering map.
Of course. Well, time anomaly, maybe? Oh well, let's get going.
The day ends, and all of you have now gathered in Crossroads. For those who have the proper adventuring license and have for a little while, you guys would know to meet at the barracks. And for the two of you who are a little bit newer or don't know where to go, as soon as you kind of look like you're wandering and have no idea where to go, a guard is just going to grab you and pull you aside and just be like, over here.
Okay.
Especially you, Kara, they're just going to kind of see you just like looking completely like bewildered and lost, and they'll clock that you're from Calden, and they'll just be like, come along, you're an adventurer, let's just bring you to where the rest of them are.
Okay.
A big group of weirdos.
And as you indeed sit down, there is in fact a pretty sizable group of weirdos.
Wonderful.
I may be 8 feet tall, but I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm weird.
You're weird.
You got a peg leg.
Yeah, true.
Oh.
And you're carrying an anchor.
Just so I'm not the odd one out, hi, I'm Dylan. My Discord is none of your goddamn business.
Love it.
And he's the maker of many subclasses that many of us are using.
All hail.
All hail.
Yay!
So as all of you are kind of being gathered, or for lack of better phrasing, for some it feels like you're being herded by the guards. For those of you who are a little bit more tactically knowledged, especially like Licked, this is a very light guard contingency here, especially for a place as important as Crossroads. This is weird. Like, you would expect Crossroads, which is quite literally the market hub of Ellithys, to have 2 to 3 deployments of guards at the ready. They have 1 at best. So clearly there's something weird going on. And as all of you are kind of brought to this room, Ferric will just walk in and he'll see all of you and he'll be like, I thought I asked. Never mind. I'm glad someone answered the summons, as he's kind of like taking note of Karis. And he'll just kind of look at all of you and he'll say, welcome for those who have not met me. I am Ferric Fireheart. I am the knight in charge of your specific adventuring licenses, except for you, as he points at you, Karis. So, like, however, I'll update that as soon as I can. Thank you for very swiftly replying and attending this, as this is a matter of import that I could not spare any guards for. The issue at hand is... I'll have the gentleman tell his story, as he's going to motion for one of the guards to open the door in the room that you're in. Not the one you entered, but another one that's kind of off on the side. And that guard's going to bring in a older, looks to be elvish or half elvish. They have some features of elf kind. He's a little stooped, wearing these kind of thick, heavy robes, and he's just shell-shocked. He doesn't really notice a whole lot's going on until the guard kind of sets him down and motions for him to notice y'all as he kind of looks up. There's a moment of clarity in his eyes as he sees all of you. He's like, oh, are these the ones that are supposed to take me home? As Ferric just kind of nods, he's like, before that, can you please tell them the story that you told us? The gentleman's just gonna put it, he's like, oh, hello, I am Lucas. I was experimenting with a little bit of chronomancy when I unlocked some ritual that placed me in, I can only assume, ripple in time. I left the laboratory that I was in, and I appeared here. The only things that I know are the same are he just kind of points in the rough direction of like the mountains where Greenacre and Red Forest are kind of at the beginning of. He's like, they're taller than they were, but that's about the only thing that's the same. I fully believe I am from the past, and I just would like you to try your best to take me home. And as they kind of put down a map on the table, he's going to point very deep in the heart of Red Forest, almost like at the very back. He's just, this is where my home is, and I would like for you to escort me. I will pay you whatever I can if we can get to my home. The council there should be able to give you a good amount of gold, if gold is even still the currency being used. For any arcane inclined, I could give you anything of my studies.
DM,
Mm-hmm.
is there any... Obviously, this map is a minimalist interpretation of the details of this realm.
Nothing.
Is there... And there's no precedent of anything, any civilization in Red Forest.
There's monsters, and that's it. As far as you know. Even the people of Greenacre who have lived close to the Red Forest for centuries, even the most adventurous youth that have tried to go as deep into they can on Red Forest, many don't come back. But the only stories of there is there's vicious monsters there. As well as being eternally like autumn in there.
Alright then. Leek will take like a half step forward and look the guy in the eye. This is... I'm not even going to make an insight check. This is too weird to be a lie.
Yeah, he looks at you, no check needed, he is fully telling the truth.
So, let me get this straight. You are from a place that, by my reckoning, and I have done a little bit of historical digging, is a place that, for all we know, is a monster-ridden forest with no one living there. Let me ask you sincerely, I am not saying that there isn't something for you to come back to, but what will you do if we just find a ruin?
I think he might be implying that he wants us to help him go back.
Like, in time.
I'm
Whether it's finding, if there is a ruin, finding my workshop where we can find the way to send me back, or even if there, maybe when the Sundering happened, they secluded themselves. Only, like, there's another layer deep in this that I should explain that I did not tell the gods of. He is going to cast a minor illusion, and a city is going to appear.
Little
But it's
5-foot diorama.
It's a flying city. Like, you can see there are, like, machines underneath this city that are, like, propulsion kind of devices to keep it afloat. Like, you can see some details that could potentially be, like, arcane devices. And he's like, this was over where that forest is now. If it is no longer there, they likely landed it and have secluded themselves to keep themselves safe, or it crashed. I would like an answer either way.
Something that big shouldn't be too hard to find, right?
Also, if it crashed, wouldn't it, like, have alerted people to a big mass falling probably makes a big boom, right?
Well, if this happened
during
around the
sundering,
sundering,
then there might have been a bit too much going on, especially if it landed perhaps on the coast away from any fighting or in the mountain.
Perhaps it fell underground in a cavern somewhere. Who knows?
I'm interested.
Could have fell into the water.
Just on a historical level, I would be interested in helping you. To be honest, and he kind of writes himself. What about you lot? This is definitely going to be a wild chase, if one could call it a chase at all.
Well, what I'm looking for is in the west, so I'll go. Sure.
I've been in the lab too long. Been too long since I've explored a proper ruin. I'm in.
Adventure summons don't come to men like me very often. I can't be picky.
Looks at Brian. Looks him up and down. Like,
Brian cut Sailor Man.
Brian gives me the feeling of like that guy in high school who hit like full puberty with like a full beard by like 15.
Yeah,
Basically.
absolutely.
Man's grew up way too fast, or acts like
question.
he did.
What is everyone's character's ages, if they have
Mine.
Let me double check.
Yeah.
Alciofo is 29.
190.
Zesty.
Leaked is 25.
Okay. Brian.
Brian is 29.
Oh.
A good chunk of us are. Karis is 28. So a good chunk of us are in our late 20s. And then a number of us are other.
There are a couple extra details that I'll point out with leaks now that more of you, especially some very holy, is that 17 passive perception? What the heck?
Hell yeah.
All right. I'm gonna say
you have expertise in perception, don't you?
I believe so, yes.
I'm gonna say you and Brahm definitely would notice. His right forearm, both of his forearms are uncovered, like the traveling clothes he has doesn't cover his forearms. On his right arm, there is a small, like, swirled tattoo of a raven. And Leek looks generally human, but the glow around his eyes and a bit of a hum to him, this is an ASMR, or an Azamar, depending on your personal pronunciation.
Who says ASMR?
A lot of people, apparently.
I just want to talk to them.
ASMR is your race?
That is the first time I've heard ASMR, but I could see people pronouncing it that way, yes.
I've just made a horrible realization.
What?
I basically just made the dwarf druid equivalent of the dude. From the Big Lebowski.
Oh my god.
No further explanations needed.
Oh, that's wonderful.
If sunglasses existed, I realize he would totally be wearing them and bumming around all day, so that's exactly it.
Get this man some goggles of night.
I was gonna say, the artificer can make those, you know?
I sure the fuck will.
Oh, lordy.
I have some plans along that line anyways, so, stay tuned for sunglasses, party-wide.
Hey, baby.
Bro,
We'll
we're gonna
see.
have the Persona 4 glasses for combat.
Oh,
Leek-
yeah.
Getting back on track, Leek will look to Ferric and ask, will the guard be providing any added transportation? Obviously, we can't take a wagon into Red Forest, but it's not a short journey just to get to the edge of Red Forest.
The best that we can supply is we can offer a cart that is not in the best of shape. We understand that it very well might have to be left at the side of the road, and that's the best we can offer, since we know there's a very real chance it may or may not be returned.
So, like, hand pull cart?
We could spare a donkey.
Oh.
More than enough.
It'll have to do.
Yeah, I mean...
There's like a face rub, like, oh brother, but like he understands.
We're really going out in the sticks on this one.
Can a donkey even pull all of us? Let alone a 400-pound Goliath?
Absolutely not. This is carrying our stuff.
Yeah, man.
Save your poor feet a few extra miles of walking a day at least.
Yeah, true.
Make sure to give him a cute name, too. That's
Don't
important.
name
That's
them.
important. It's important.
Don't name them.
It's important.
I'm going to address him by his name.
So yeah, the guard will outfit you with that. You are given the chance to stay in town for a couple days. Make sure that you have everything ready that you need. Any supplies that you may or may not want to get. If there's any items like from the PHB, like non-magical items you can get. And who knows, if you pull your money together, you may be able to get a spare potion. Which, by the way, everyone does start with a single potion of healing.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Yeah, potion of healing. Let's go.
About to say, I think a good couple of us have already spent a good chunk of our starting gold on things.
Yeah,
You know
just
it.
for those
I
who
only did a
didn't.
shield.
Yeah, for those who hadn't, I was giving them the option now.
Oh,
Well, is like 2 days enough to do a little light side questing?
What kind of side questing?
Well, item 1, find the local alchemist, apothecary, whoever stocks potions and components and shit.
I mean, that seems like part of, like...
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, like the...
Well, let him cook. Let him keep going.
Yeah,
There's
sorry,
obviously
sorry.
more.
Item 2, Alciofo is fucking flat broke because he left before he got his pension or whatever the fuck the college is giving him. So he's gonna try and provide for himself by heading out into the sticks around Crossroads, trying to find some snakes, poisonous or otherwise, maybe some oozes or wildflowers that have interesting compounds in them, and try to trade up, as it were.
I doubt you're gonna find just Dragon Quest slimes outside of town, but
I mean, there's always a chance. We don't know about this world yet.
Give me a nature check.
Nature check, nature check. Where the fuck's my nature check? Boop.
You managed to find some pretty potent mushrooms. Both
Nice.
the psychedelic and the poisonous kind.
Very nice. So he'll take those to the apothecary and see what their value is.
That's my D4.
He's looking for a dice.
We have, the...
I'll give you 3 golds for it all.
3 gold? Yep. I'll take it.
Yeah, let's go.
3 gold richer.
And then, using 1 gold, he's gonna get... I already did the math on this earlier. 10 flasks of oil, I think.
Oil flasks, yes.
Hell yeah.
Burn everything.
Terrified of what you're
Burn.
cooking.
Everything. You
Wait,
should
we're
be.
going to a forest.
Yes, we are.
Oh no.
Let's not make a. Let's not start a wildfire.
Please.
Looks at the wildfire druid.
Oh shit!
Oh no.
Controlled
You're
fires
too
only.
late. You are too
Controlled fires only.
Control burn.
I may start a fire with all my cooking as well because I have cooking utensils and
Understood.
supplies.
Start the
Need
fire.
anything
Or maybe we did.
else? Nope. I can't think of anything right now, so I think that'll be it.
Okay.
I would like to both buy a thing of cooking oil
Okay.
for the journey, as well as over the 2 days, effectively just kind of like sneak around in wild shape and like bum some herbs and spices and aromatics off of any of the farmers on the outskirts of town. Just creating a stock of spices for the travel.
You're gonna Remy it?
Oh yeah.
You know what? What check do I want this to be? Give me stealth with advantage.
Cause animal.
13.
You managed to get a decent amount. You pretty much most of what you want. You're a little short on garlic.
Fair enough.
I'm just gonna add this as oil and spices and say it weighs a pound.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm an outlander, by the way, so
Yeah.
We're-
I could.
we're gonna be eating off the land a lot.
Fair enough. Karis just buys some more travel rations.
That is actually a great idea. Also, get them rations.
Each night y'all come to the inn, the druid is just sitting there with more and more herbs and spices, and you're all getting increasingly worried.
Question: how much of it does he smoke?
Hey, no. Maybe. Shut up.
That's a
I'm
different
not
pouch.
worried. Once we get to the forest, like hunting should be pretty good.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I will pick up a chainmail and the 2 hand axes. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'll do. How much is chainmail?
Way too much for your starting gold, unless you took starting.
I
Unless you took starting
rolled-
gold and loot of equipment.
Yeah, I did.
Weirdo.
I didn't plan on having any equipment because
You know what? I would actually also like to set up. I have brewer supplies and everything, so could I get a cask going or something in the meantime? Leave it, maybe come back to it.
Sure, I assume you leave it with like Ferric.
Yeah, I'll just put it in his basement.
You just sneak whole hard into his basement because the guard, as the knight captain of the guard here, he does have his own home. You just like sneak it into his basement and leave it there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn into a rat, go in, change, put the cask in there, set it up all, nice like, and I'm just gonna put a little post-it note on it, and then I'm just gonna leave again.
A post-it note.
Just comes back. Don't bother. Might be volatile.
Yeah.
They're just like, don't bother. Ignore alcohol.
All right, as you guys.
I'm a just there. That's for later.
Oh,
I would like to ask a specific question of Brahm, actually. How much pepper did you find?
DM, how much pepper did I find? Peppers or just straight pepper?
like black pepper or green/bell peppers.
Black pepper.
Peppercorns.
Yeah, how common would that be here versus other stuff?
You got if there's be a good bit of peppercorn. You probably got like 30 individual like peppercorns or so.
Okay, then I'm gonna make this like oil and spices like 3 pounds or so.
Oh.
Well, this I should apparently. Plus, soy would be a little bit more. Yeah, it's okay. There you go.
Okay.
Roughly 30-ish.
I was just
Cool.
checking before it broke my bank. I'm just gonna say that I bought a tent, like a 2-person tent for
Okay.
2 gold. That's
All
all
right.
I'm doing.
Ooh, tents.
I'll just go over all of my things.
I just realized, do I have a tent?
The answer is no. There's no tents that are ever provided in the standard packs.
That is true. That is
Good thing I
that is
didn't get a
definitely
standard
true.
pack then.
Yeah.
Gives you a bedroll to sleep in open air next to a fire, and then the second it rains, you hate life.
Yeah. Okay. I'll spend 2 gold on the tent.
All right.
I'll double check that I have like one of each smith tool on my in my bag and like on
Right.
my person.
I'm probably so close to breaking my carrying capacity.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Luckily, y'all have a Goliath and a cart.
Oh yeah. And a donkey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That
Well,
is true.
Donkey's pulling the cart, so
I'm
you
still
know.
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
pack him as if he can carry his own gear because he doesn't know any of these people.
Yeah.
Fair
Understandable.
enough. And as the only female in the group, yeah, the girl do need a tent.
Also, y'all are all acting interactively. Introduce yourselves to each other.
Well, we're getting
Oh.
to that. We're gonna
Yeah.
wait
Yeah.
until we're on the road.
Yeah, we're all
Yeah,
gathering
yeah.
gear, doing our own things at the moment. We'll probably meet back up or
Right.
So, were we it, or were there like sundry
Yup.
other randoms?
It is you guys, and then one who, as soon as like the kind of mission statement gets met, they just kind of leave. They don't speak up, and it's the little halfling that's there. And as soon as it's like escort into red, as soon as the word Red Forest is mentioned, they're just like, nope.
skitters out of there.
All right.
Basically.
Can I just say-
left jury duty?
I am horrified to look and see that a hunting trap weighs 25 pounds.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a bear trap.
I mean, you know what? That's fair enough.
It
I
is solid
guess.
metal. It is meant to
Yeah.
dig into a bear.
Yeah.
Those things that sometimes ignore bullets.
It's still like one of the heaviest things I've seen in.
Does
Does
anyone have one of those?
I do because I'm an outlander, so I start with one.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, nice.
So I'm looking at that. It's 25 pounds. That's pretty heavy. And I'm looking at this guy who fights with chains.
That
Gears
would
are
be
just
an-
starting to turn.
That
you
would be
know?
an improvised weapon. That would be a fucked roll.
All right.
You would have to use it so specifically to not trigger the mechanism while you're swinging it around before you hit it.
Those things are pretty.
You just swing once and then, whoo, and then it just
No.
clamps onto someone's arm.
Now later on with better magic, that becomes terrorism. I don't
It's
want
just-
Magic or tools.
I don't
It's just
want to meet.
scorpions get over here, grapple.
I don't want to meet the wizard that is using telekinesis on bear traps.
Oh no! Oh, that
Stop
would
giving
be
him ideas.
horrible.
Stop giving the DM ideas.
That's not even telekinesis. Just use catapult.
Catapult
I
is
have.
too heavy for catapult.
Oh, is it?
True.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You do the
Maybe
kill.
like fifth.
You do the. Oh, speaking of, while I'm thinking about it, for viewers, we also have a homebrew spell list.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Kibbles.
Speaking of, you use the
Look
Kibble
up.
Tasty Kibbles. Kibble-
Kibble's Tasty. He's on Patreon. It's
Yes.
Missing Compendium.
Oh,
Please go check him out. Not sponsored. I will give him credit in the description for next time. But we're mentioning it. Kibble Tasty, you make great products. Looking forward to
Can't wait
using
for
them.
your actual book to come out.
Same. But yeah, use the Kibble Tasty version of Catapult. It is heavier. I think it's like 30 pounds.
Oh, what? Really?
Damn.
Dude.
That's
Yeah,
actually
that's
kind of huge.
That's
Wait, he has a
terrorism.
version of Catapult? Hold
He
on.
does have a version of Catapult.
That's great.
It's like a second. It's like a second or third level.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
New spell trebuchet.
I think it's actually it's called Catapult,
I'm
or it's not Catapult. What is it? It's I think it's literally called like Trebuchet or something like that.
Oh, really?
It's hilarious.
Awesome.
Fling. Oh no, that's for a person.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
One larger, smaller creature. There was something similar, but yeah, it's just yeet a larger item.
Well,
Good, because I think that needed
for whatever the meeting time is, Leaked will arrive. I assume we will have our critical target in the cart. The
Yes.
regular one there.
Yeah, that sounds better. Right?
The guards kind of just like pull him out. They don't have him under guard because they're worried about like him leaving or anything. They have him under guard because they're like, we don't know what to do with him.
We can't just have a man running around saying he's a time traveler. It'll rile up the locals.
Basically, like the two guards that encountered him in the first place, they're on leave right now. Because it was literally like he just appeared and just startled the ever-living hells out of them.
You would think they'd be more used to it with all the anomalies that can happen.
There has yet to be a time anomaly that they're aware of. There has been some things like frozen in time, but not something just appearing out of a random point in time.
So overall, the concept of like time travel is like
New.
not a thing.
Yeah. Time.
I wouldn't have heard of anything on the seas that were anything like this.
No. The chronomancy is a thing, but it is manipulating very limited set points in time.
Let's see.
This is, thousands of years of movement, basically. Like, he was it put himself into a stasis for thousands of years and it just ended, or he somehow bent time and came to this point.
But we don't know thousands of years. That's above table.
Well, he's...
Well, no,
There's like,
he
there's a
pinpointed a map that was pre-sundering as when his thing existed.
And he said he came from a flying city,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm pretty sure if there's any records of that, it's like sundering, pre-sundering.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What little records you have from before the Sundering, because many of them were destroyed during that time, the cities were a lot more fantastical. Technology was a lot more advanced than what you currently are. Y'all are getting a lot closer in the current day and age, but flying cities is definitely something that would have been a technology far in the past. Far before the world essentially got reset.
That's a fair enough.
Anyways, onward adventure.
Onward adventure. And yeah, all you guys get to the cart. Ferric is there and hands you kind of the reins to the donkey. And he's just like, please be safe. We've given you a pack of essentially 3 to 4 days of rations for the lot of you as a small gift from us, in lieu of any forward payment. I feel like the rations would probably serve you better where you're going than some coin.
Karis looks again at the ration she bought.
Listen, it'll take you 4 days just to get to Red Forest, and who knows how long it'll take you to get through it.
I'm an Outlander druid. I have no fear of ever starving to death.
I was not worried about you, Brom.
I was above table, but yeah.
Wow.
Can I inspect this sloppy-looking cart and see if there's at least minimal reinforcement I can probably give to it so it doesn't give way under our travel?
Give me
that doesn't look a good idea.
Give me an appropriate tools check.
Would Smith tools work?
Sure, just some points of like reinforcement.
Fuck woodworkers' tools. We hate them.
Woodworkers would be better, but he's at least finding points where like some of the paneling on the cart where you guys would be putting your equipment, or like the bottom of the cart could use at least a little bit of metal reinforcement, which you do. You just kind of like point out like, hey, can you get me some like fucked up shields or something? And you just kind of put some scrap metal, and you just kind of reinforce some of the spots that might be weaker that we're gonna break.
Since our charge is going to be sitting in there.
Your charge and your stuff.
I think about slapping my handiwork, but then I realize I'll probably break it, so I don't.
Well, at least she looks a fair bit sturdier, Grom says as he just chucks the entire, he has one of those big, the fairly big pots that you would put over a campfire and just filled with a bunch of stuff over top with it, just like a little cloth, like some rope tying it all together. He just chucks the whole thing down into the back.
You could see Brian put both hands up to his face like that concern meme, just like...
It kind of thuds, and you hear like a as it holds steady, but you worried for a second with the creak.
I knew it would hold.
Whoop.
Karis gingerly places her bag in there. It's like,
Hey, if it was going to fail, I'd rather it fail now than later. While we're in town.
The only thing Leaks is gonna put in there tentatively is his tent, just because it's 20 fucking pounds.
Yeah, the
How much?
pound tent. Holy shit.
How much weight do you suppose this cart can carry, Tachi?
Probably a good 100 or so. Good couple hundred. Because it's gonna carry at least most of your stuff, and I'll let you know if it gets a little too heavy, because I am listening to what you guys are putting in. Plus the weight of the elderly guy, yeah.
Yeah, I'll look at the cart. I'll look at my giant anchor. I'll look at the cart.
You
I'll
think
keep
it?
my anchor.
Yeah,
You can-
carry that.
You can try.
Don't try.
Tachi, do you see the weight that my anchor is set at in my inventory?
I actually didn't.
It's a fucking anchor.
Yeah.
It is a 5-foot anchor.
Never mind. You
Yeah.
cannot try.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
no.
not gonna do that. I'll be fine. I just have my extra padded leather strap. It's
Dear Lord, man.
straps, plural. It's a whole ass sheep right there.
Yeah.
Padding.
Sheesh. There's just a sheep pelt.
As all of you
As
kind of,
cushioning for the anchor.
all of you kind of pile into. Who's gonna like? Is someone gonna sit in the like kind of chair to kind of lead the donkey at the very least, or are you just gonna walk and lead the donkey that way?
To be safe, we'll
Probably
walk unless
kinder.
someone.
Yeah.
We'll let the guy
that
sit
monkey.
there.
Yeah.
I will begin ritual casting Speak with Animals, though, since, druid
Mhm.
Why
and
not?
everything.
Yeah. Yeah,
As we
your
just walk.
your ritual goes off, and the donkey's just kind of like, oh, not the road again. It's better than being in the stables.
Okay.
Do you have any horrible secrets to share with me?
He's like, wait, you can understand me?
Shh. Have you witnessed horrors beyond your days?
This right now.
You know what?
That's good.
I never think of that aspect of Speak with Animals.
Yeah, no, the animals are weirded out too.
It's just like it's wide-eyed, and it kind of like stops, but the wizard just kind of does the little tick sound. It's just the dog just keeps going for it. He's like, well, I don't know if I can fucking trust you.
That's also fair.
It's like,
Just
can
say
you
anything if you need something, my semi-equine friend.
Oh my god.
do you have apples?
Do I have apples, Tachi?
Do you have a singular apple?
I take a bite out of the apple and then give him the rest.
He just kind of like he does the best of like a donkey shrug. He'll just like eat it whole. He'll just chomp. And he's just like with the mouthful of apples, like, thanks.
Have I ran into druids before? Like, are they common in the scene that I'm from?
You would have seen a couple because they'd be good at helping, calm the weather.
Yeah, okay, he's just a weird nature guy. Okay, I've seen them. All right. Great. Weird nature guy.
Probably not one harass an animal in that manner, though.
I was with pirates. What do you? I'm sure they harass plenty of animals.
Probably harass a bunch of people too.
Totally weren't poachers, but
As you guys kind of all gather and everything, the wizard kind of addresses you, and he's like, "So who are my erstwhile companions on this journey?"
Not everyone all at once. Jesus.
Yeah.
Kakaris
Are you guys?
holds up the recruitment flyer. I'm not Michael. I am Karis. Hello.
oh, that's so good.
I fight with a sword, and I don't really know what to tell you. I'm a traveler, and this is work, I guess.
Relax, you're not getting interrogated or anything. Leeks is just... He's holding his staff, and he's leaning on it, because it is a full fucking quarterstaff, mechanically. Though it's wrapped up. I'm Leaked. A pleasure. We'll see to the road. Kind of looks to the other people that are quiet.
The name's Brahm, wandering druid, handyman, slayer of all giant rats and some such.
Rats. Yes.
Anything that gets a little too uppity.
Donk is like, "Hey, wait, hold on."
Like, neck creak turns to the alchemist-looking dragonborn.
The little weirdo dragonborn.
It's not actually that little. I think his height's like 6'2".
All right, crane's neck up.
Oh. You can hear him audibly gritting his teeth. Alciophos, I got taken away from researching pudding to do this.
Like, edible or
like the sausage or the sweet?
When's
The
the
monster.
When's the last time I had
Oh.
pudding?
Did they let me bring that
nope.
pudding essence with me? No? Damn.
Fair.
Very
Why
fair.
is sausage both or all three of a sweet, a sausage, and a monster?
That's a very good question.
It's a gelatinous term.
Ah,
Like,
sense.
if turning to Alciofo was like a door creak, turning to Brine is like hearing like a millstone grind. As
Just
he
the-
looks at everything up.
What's the height on Brian? He dubs.
He is 8 feet tall.
Fuck yeah.
He will
So
shake
we
his
have
head. Sorry, I was still lost on the whole time travel part. Like, Bride, new to land adventuring. Hi. That negative charisma really coming in there.
The wizard just kind of like blinks, and even the donkey's just like, I wish I understood human, because it got quiet.
The only person he can talk to is the one that speaks to him like he's like an eldritch researcher trying to hear the truth.
That's the only reason he's kind of like talking out loud right now. It's just like, I know you can hear me. Why did it get quiet?
Some people are very awkward, is the answer.
Fair.
And tall. Very awkward and tall.
Oh,
And
the
scaly.
one with that weird thing that he's carrying.
Oh.
Yeah, he's from the water. Ignore him.
Those water guys are always weird.
He's literally carrying an anchor.
He's like, what do you mean people are from water? That's the stuff you drink.
Yeah, but like the big water.
Let's
Oh,
walk
man.
and talk.
Were we not walking? I thought we were walking.
Yeah, y'all are walking.
Okay, we're still walking. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
'Cause
What
the-
time is it, DM?
Journeying.
y'all are getting close to like afternoon.
All right.
We should like huff it so we can make some time proper.
Or probably.
Ah, yes. Let me just huff it.
Lo-
tiny
lo-
head, and he, like, run as
lo-
fast
lo-
as I
looks
can.
looks at one leg, looks at Anchor. It's like
We should maintain a normal traveling pace so that we may pay attention.
yes. You know what?
Too many
Correct.
threats on the road.
Traveling along the main road, there's no real issues. You pass a few merchants. Just kind of heading to crossroads. You see like some farmers bringing some stuff from the more southern areas and towns. Which, for reference, for players and viewers, currently only the major towns are highlighted. There are smaller towns that are not represented on the map, as the players, when they discover them, then will slowly be adding them to the map.
But for now, your underprivileged eyes cannot witness them on this magnificent tapestry of places.
Because they don't matter.
Tell 'em.
Exactly.
A lot of them do not matter. We, like I said, as you discover them, you'll encounter them. But
Yeah.
there is essentially a small like guard outpost here in between the mountain keeps, but it's more like nestled in the mountain that you
Did
guys
that-
would pass.
Was there a ping?
Nope.
I didn't see a ping. Are you on the wrong layer?
Maybe
Nacho?
There
on the
was. It
wrong
was right
layer.
here.
Yeah, it's here.
I saw it. Where are you looking?
Oh, well, all I know is I didn't see a ping. All right,
I'm on the
Now I see
token layer. There we
now
go.
I see it. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, guard post in the mountain pass makes sense.
it's really literally just an outpost for a couple guards. You kind of like wave as you go past that. Towards the end of that first day, you find like a little outcropping just past here that seems like a very popular kind of resting place as the first day of travel ends. And I would like all of you to, give me a watch order.
Check up for the night.
Oh, my aching watch order.
Well,
Alciofo
I
will
do
be
not
last.
have. I do not have dark vision, so
You have to be first watch.
Yeah, but hey, I'll have really good eyes.
Brahm, when we're setting up camp, he has a small little glass lantern that he has at his side, and he unscrews the bolt at the top and pulls up the glass and summons out his little fire spirit familiar out of it, and he just kind of like shoos it into the fire pit that he makes, and it just curls up down in the firewood and just keeps it going bright all night.
That's super cute, honestly.
Love having a mobile version of that guy from Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah, basically.
Very useful.
Here, I'll change my token to what it looks like.
It's a little salamander.
Yeah.
It is cute.
Comes out, curls up in the fire, and just kind of rests, and the fire is nice and
Okay,
keeps you.
so
Not that it's
Everyone, make sure to not put water on this fire.
it's not like cold, but as the evening gets, it does kind of cool down, to where the warmth of the fire is appreciated.
I'll take second watch, by the way.
okay. Who wants Dead of Night?
Meh, you can wake Alciofo up for that. Because, like, almost as soon as camp was ready, he just kind of face planted into a bunk and knocked out.
Okay. So then it's just last watch with either the Goliath with no dark vision or the Azamar with dark vision.
I was about to say I don't have
I got you, buddy. You're okay.
much appreciated.
I'll handle last watch, I guess.
Right, first watch. Give me perception and a D100.
Perception and a D100?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Alright. Perception and a D100.
How are you passing the night?
Well, Karis is just kind of mildly enamored by the cute salamander thing in the fire, but she does keep watch. Maybe not as Actually, yeah, maybe not as ideally as normal. Her focus is a little bit on the salamander, a little bit too, but 14 is still pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
How long are each watch?
2-hour intervals.
Yeah,
Okay.
so then we can get our what is 6 hours of
Mhm.
actual sleep required.
Yeah. So first watch ends. Nothing really happens. You have a couple animals kind of come out. You see some rabbits kind of hopping around, trying to find a place to hide out for the night. You see a fox kind of, after the rabbits pass by, a fox kind of trailing them quietly. But nothing major. Second watch.
Oh, as she passes it off, she notes to whoever's up next. There's a lot of wildlife around if anyone wants to hunt. And then she goes into her bed roll.
Okay. I'll go next. I'll give the perception and the D100.
Nice.
Very nice. Both.
Damn,
Both,
nice.
both of them are nice.
So for what I'm doing during this little watch, I will go ahead. I'll feed the donkey. I will go ahead. I will set up my hunting trap to see if I can get like a rabbit or some such. I will go ahead and just eat my rations for the day. I'll have like some mixed like nuts and such, and I will take the shells and I'll throw it down into the fire pit for my little coal to eat. I brought back the name.
I know you did. I saw that. It just kind of snaps them up. Just
We don't have to basically write off rations until we're at the forest, right? Because we got like the
Mhm.
rations covered, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just eating my stuff.
Yeah,
for
I'm
my
just for my own tracking.
Yeah. I'll let y'all know when the ration supply the guards gave you wears out. So during your watch, with that 21, I need to make a check. They fail. You see as you're kind of feeding your little friend, as and kind of eating, you're kind of leaning back and relaxing, but your very astute eyes notices someone sneaking around. They're
Like
kind of
how far away?
they're like at the edge of light. Like that's how come you catch them. Is they take a step just a little too close, and the light of the fire kind of catches them.
I will create a little flame in my hand and kind of approach a little bit, just keeping an eye on them to see if it illuminates them a tiny bit more, listening to see if they try to move before I call out.
They kind of like freeze as they're like, "Oh shit! Maybe if I don't move, they won't notice me."
What do I see?
As you kind of get closer and the light kind of illuminates them a little bit more, it is a goblin. But they, aside from like how you would have normally seen goblins, where they're kind of just like in rags at best, this one's dressed. Like this one has actual like clothing, has a little dagger on their hip. They seem to be, if at the best, a pretty well-to-do goblin.
Well, upon seeing just someone, little goblin, just sneaking around, he'll just like half-heartedly ask, "Are you a cut purse, a pickpocket, or just a traveler?"
Lost.
Sorry, what?
Lost.
Get out of the bushes.
He just kind of like crawls up and just kind of looks at you. He's like, I'm lost. I'm looking for checks. Like he pulls out from his pouch just kind of a little thing. It's like, was heading to Greenacre with a merchant train. got separated because I dropped some of my wares. And you see now kind of like back behind him a little bit as he points out, like motions towards it. There's a pretty large like backpack a little far behind him. And he's like, just trying to see if maybe you were a search party sent for me.
No, can't say that we are, but you're not too far from Greenacre. Crossroads is about a travel's day from here. If you want to share the campfire, you can for the night.
Would much appreciate it, thank you. As he kind of joins up with you guys, he'll backtrack to grab the backpack. As he like picks it up and sets it on his back, it like sets him off kilter for a second. But then he kind of rights himself and then kind of scampers over to the fire and sits down. And as he sits down, he'll extend his hand to you. Wart!
Brahm. And he just gives, like, just a very hearty handshake. Lots of up and down movement.
Thank you.
To assert dominance.
Yeah, as you do the, like, up and down, he kind of, like, wibbles and wobbles a little bit. And he's like, I don't mean to sound rude or prejudiced. I assume you drink, right?
Yes.
He'll
Like,
I don't want to I don't want to sound, like I said, I don't want to sound rude, but you're a dwarf.
look, it's not. I've only cut back during daylight.
Understood. He'll start digging in his bag, and he pulls out a jug. It's like a tealish color. As he kind of like sets it down, and he'll say something in Goblin, and a fine like honey mead kind of starts coming out of it.
Oh, is this like an alchemy jug?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also, you said teal and jug and liquid, and I just went to this son of a bitch just pull out a chug jug.
No.
Sure the fuck did.
No, it's just fun color.
It's fair. Yeah, I'll take a little. I'll take one glass, and I'll share his company for the next hour or so until it's the next person's time to come up.
Yeah, he just kind of he drinks with you, and then he finds like he'll just be like, if you don't mind, I'm gonna just under there. He's gonna point towards like the cart. He's gonna drag his backpack and set himself up a little sleeping spot underneath there.
All right. I'll just keep an eye on him as I lounge in the hammock as time passes.
All right. Third watch.
That's me.
I assume, Brom, you tell Asiofa about the goblin.
I mean, look, he's clattering around his big old pack. He's there. You can see him.
Yeah.
He's well dressed and is sitting by the fire.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Alciofo, give me, the same thing. Perception and a D100.
Sure thing, boss.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
How are you keeping yourself awake at night?
Right. Alciofo gets very absorbed in things a lot of the time, so he's going to be using mold earth to kind of sculpt a little oven type structure. I think that works. And he's going to gather some kindling, start a little fire in there, and try and find some of those peppers, hang them up in there, and try to dry them out.
Okay.
Industry. If he's watching at all, it's clearly not very well. Although he does try to remember to go on periodic perambulations of the camp.
I think it's more of a matter if you just fall asleep and don't even complete your watch.
So, you managed to dry out some peppercorn. You do fall asleep like towards the end of it, as you're kind of like looking at it, and then you just like, my watch is almost over, and then you just kind of like looking at it, you doze off, you wake up, goblin gone.
Goblin gone?
Goblin gone. His pack is still there, but goblin gone.
Curious. Shall I investigate? See if there are footprint?
Give me an investigation.
This thing. Dang. It's so dark out.
Goblin gone. No, an 8's not awful. It's not like a... I mean, it is a 2 on the die for you.
Yeah.
That's awful.
That's pretty awful.
Yeah. Goblin gone.
Goblin gone.
Fuck,
There's... You could definitely tell he was curled up here, because there's like the little indentation and like the scrub grass. But pack is still here. Couple drops of blood, but nothing major.
No, those are just like those are like leaves or something. Alciofo doesn't see that. He will take the pack and kind of just place it in the wagon.
As you touch
For
the
the time
pack,
being. Oh, okay.
I need an intelligence saving throw.
Cool.
You succeed. As you touch it, you feel like a zap come up your arm, but you let go in time, like because you feel like the air kind of charge. You just let go in time, and you just hear a little crackle around the bag.
Boggardy.
Ooh.
But as the kind of the static electricity kind of settles, you try picking it up again, and nothing happens. You just kind of toss it in the back of the cart.
Yep. If he comes back, he'll be able to find it.
All right, fourth watch.
Oh boy, here I go.
What happened?
There I go watching again.
Pretty good perception. Okay.
23 on the D100. We don't know if high or low is good or bad, so... But,
I mean, it's probably a random table.
It is a
So
random
that means
table.
nothing.
Yeah, so it maybe number.
They're all nice and mixed.
Figured.
Quick pause. Hello, Mango. Thank you for tuning in. So as you wake up and kind of look around, I assume Alciofo tells you Goblin was here, Goblin now gone.
Goblin gone. He might be answering the call of, I don't know, the call of nature. Yeah.
After he'll like take the information. And after Alciofo goes to sleep, Leech will just like pick up like a rock, cast light on it, and just give a look.
You just make a rudimentary like flashlight.
Basically.
Sure. Give me an investigation from under the cart.
Sure. I'm rolling good.
Rolling pretty hot. Yeah, there's some like blood on the ground where the indentation in the grass was. It kind of like drags out, and you kind of follow a little trail. There's what looks to be like decently sized wolf, but it's dead, as is the goblin. As you kind of like backtrack towards a little bit more towards the tree line. And yeah, wolf thought it had a decent snack, and the goblin fought back. Both of them got taken out.
And that's what I determine is that there's no like third party.
I mean, the goblin's knife is in the wolf's neck, and the goblin's neck has been torn out.
That's god awful.
Metal.
Took him down with him.
Not much we can do about this.
We should not trust the Dragonbone with watches. Like a goblin was fucking being actively murdered live and fighting back. He just missed it all.
It got like drug off like a good 20-30 feet to the tree line, just as he's fighting back.
So
Also, the
confirmed,
rest
deep
of us,
sleeper.
the rest of us do sleep pretty deep.
My
That's
passive
bad.
perception, not good.
My passive
Especially-
perception should have got that.
When you're asleep, your passive perception is at disadvantage. Your passive perception would only be a 12.
Correct.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a -5 when you're sleeping.
Correct.
Leaks will do anything with it right now. He will just mark something like
Like a little cairn.
like shift a rock, put a stick in the ground, something to just mark the spot. And then just like looking up at like the late morning sky, it's like this can wait an hour. And he just like shambles back over to the cold fire and like just throws a little more wood on.
The little salamander takes the wood and kind of like gnaws on the end of it as the fire kind of roars up a little bit. And yeah, the watch goes by uneventfully for the party, not so for the poor goblin merchant.
Rough.
Urchin.
The watch ends. Leaked will wake everybody up. It's like, so, there was a goblin visitor. Yes.
Oh no, what happened to Wart?
What? Wait, a goblin?
He just kind of like face squints, like kind of like just points over towards the marker he made. I guess we all sleep a little well if they got murdered by a wolf. That close?
What? Karas goes around the corner. Oh, wow. Well?
Kind of points to the wizard. If I travel with you for a concerted period of time, we will be adding, what was the spell? Alarm to your spell book? We need to do that.
He makes
You should do that.
He makes a motion. What spell book? When I went in through time, my spell book was left behind.
No, not
No,
you.
You.
Not you.
The PC wizard.
Dummy.
To Alciofo.
Oh!
You know, the wizard in the party.
Yeah.
So while you're fingering at him, that was word
Don't say it
awkwardly.
like that.
I realized my mistake. Anyways, you can hear him gritting his teeth again, and he's like, "Yeah, this was the issue my brother was always pointing out too.
Why don't
Your
you have
concern
it
is
in your-
noted."
Why don't you have it in your spellbook then?
Spells are expensive, I think.
It's
Yes.
like my first time
Regardless.
in the field in a while.
Let's just be careful.
Well,
Right. Man, it's a real shame. The wolf didn't even get to have its meal either. Damn shame.
It's kind of a quirked brow look at you.
If something was going to die, it could at least feed something else.
Karas kind of just shuffles over to the goblin, well, maybe there's some identification to
Yeah,
send somewhere.
check his
Yeah,
check his pack. Check his person.
Karas checks his person.
What did this goblin traveler have that we're definitely not going to take his loot?
As you guys gotta check his person, he had about 2 gold on him. He had his pack, which was full of a bunch of mundane, he had some camping equipment. He had and this is visible. I want to point this out. As you guys are kind of looking, you see sorry, I got a notification. Thank you for the follow. It was very loud in my ear, and I forgot what it was for a second. There's some obvious camping equipment kind of sticking out of it, the end of a shovel. You can kind of see the shape of what looks to be maybe a cauldron or something. But as you guys try to open the pack, you can't. And the wizard is actually going to come over and take a look as all of you guys are trying to fiddle with the lock. because it looks like it should just be a very simple mechanism. He just kind of takes a look at it, does arcane check on it. There's an arcane lock on this pack.
This is just like a bag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Hold on.
could just like cut.
I was
Like the
gonna
bag.
say, can't we just... Does the arcane lock reinforce the bag?
Nope.
In
Just... Can't you just cut around the lock? Can't you just cut it off?
Listen, we're looking for identification, and Braum just starts like taking his knife along one of the seam points of the bag.
And you do so. You cut the pack open. You have now received one alchemy jug. I have to remember which one it is because I know the three of them do have different contents.
I'm
it was
taking that.
teal.
Chuck.
Well, I said
There's
teal, but
three?
it's blue. I think it's like blue, orange, and like red. I think are the colors of the alchemy jugs. I need to remember which one.
I thought that was Bag of Tricks.
No, alchemy jugs also have
no,
different
no.
colors.
That's like tan, like rust, and like gray.
Yeah.
Whack.
Alchemy jug. There is a non-colored one. There's a blue one and an orange one.
Mm-hmm. So you guys have now acquired an alchemy jug. You have acquired one anti-venom, 2 gold that was on his person, as well as a few other like mundane items that like a merchant would have, like the camping equipment, of course. He has let me roll the tool set that he would have, because he would have had one for sale. He has cobbler's tools on him. And
Goody.
a full, like, well done map of the realm in his pack, as well as another knife.
Okay.
So which jug type is it?
Let me look at him again real quick.
You just make it a normal alchemy jug.
It probably
Unless the
is.
other one has something special enough that it necessitates it.
I mean, the only difference is
Yo, one can make soy sauce.
One can
yeah,
make
the,
soy
the,
sauce.
the blue one can make boiling hot tea, which is kind of neat.
That is pretty neat.
And the normal one can make acid and basic poison.
Yeah, the
Huh.
orange one can make. Yeah,
wonder
I
if
think
the
I'm
orange
gonna-
one makes vinegar and soy sauce. Oh no, the other one can make vinegar too. So the only real difference between blue and orange is the boiling hot tea or the soy sauce.
It
Oh.
also sounds like there's no identification in the bag either.
There would be on his person.
letter.
There's like a locket that would be identifiable as like one of the kind of larger merchant houses.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is there any envelopes on his person?
No, doesn't seem like it.
In his bag?
In his bag, let me see. Yeah, y'all find kind of, since y'all were cutting along the seam, y'all would have actually found it. In like one of the things, there is a letter that's just like, hey, from one of the branches of the merchant family. It's like, we're calling everyone together. There's been a minor supplying issue. So we're calling all of the lesser members of the family because we need to address this to kind of come together and find out what the issue is so we can fix it going forward.
And that's where the
Kars
green
takes
acre.
that envelope, puts his 2 gold in and the locket, and then seals it back up and is like, alright, well, we'll deliver this later.
Yeah, it would have said to come to Greenacre.
Okay. Well, you hold on to that at least until we can like mail it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guard, we can. Maybe if we pass a guard, we can have them send it back along on some caravan.
You guys would have gotten the blue one, by the way.
One has the tea.
That's the one with the T.
Go.
Where am I finding
Nice.
this blue alchemy jug?
Just search on 5e tools.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
in Candlekeep Mysteries is the book for it.
Oh, it's in that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it has none of the good shit.
Yeah, no.
No, this is like the pure cooking one.
Yeah,
No, it
this is
does
the
make a
cooking one.
quart of a boiling liquid. That is still terrorism.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? I'm taking
I
this.
was gonna say, in lieu of anyone else complaining, if it had the actual things, I would have given it to.
Yeah, no,
his
if it had the
murderer.
poison and shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't know that he's a terrorist
I
yet,
assume
but
conveying the story, it would make sense to give it to Braum. Braum was the one that tried to be nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and swap out the beer with honey mead.
okay.
That would be the only change.
Look, it's fine. I will use it to cook you all good things. Also, I'm leaving the goblin out in the forest to rot.
Um.
I
Well,
don't
I
have
mean,
a shovel.
there was a shovel in the bag.
Alciofo
he
has
carried
a
his
shovel
own shovel.
and also
Yeah.
the mold
I
earth
mean,
cantrip, so he can just shift it around. And
Oh yeah, sure, that works too.
He also does just have a shovel on his corpse. Or not on his corpse, in his
purposely gonna
pack.
leave it so that the animals could feast on it, but
Give-
just
Give
the
poor
thought just
man a
crossed
little
the
They can
thought
dig 'em
crossed
up.
my head. He's reverse Kurapika. He brought a shovel so that we could bury him.
Ah.
You can let the wolf out for animals to eat. The goblin could use a burial.
Yes, but I will in fact skin it though. The wilds don't need that pelt. I could sell that.
Sure, give me a survival
I-
chip.
I'll help. I'm
Bang.
oddly proficient in survival.
21.
Yeah? You get yourself a nice good wolf pelt.
Yeah.
It's like
Very
an
nice.
alternating between like holding like a leg or a part with like a glove and like holding another part with like a mage hand.
Yeah, no, we're golden Kamui-ing this shit, just all the
Oh,
meridians just
gosh.
perfectly.
So are me, Karis, and Alciofo just burying this poor goblin?
Yes.
Yes.
Karis, I'm gonna kind of like lean over a little bit, because I have to lean down a bit, and I'll be like, I don't want to be weird. I really don't think his name was Wart.
No, the letter was addressed to Wart.
He's a goblin. They have gobby speak.
Well, yes, I'm just saying.
You're being culturally insensitive.
We just manhandled his body, searching it for loot, and I'm just saying there was not a wart on there. It does not sound right.
Did you check below the belt?
I did not. I will not.
Karska's goblin names are goblin names. We'll just leave it at that, okay?
He is also
Oh,
missing
wait, I
a good
forgot.
amount
I
of
put up
throat.
I put up my hunting trap, actually. I forgot about that.
Did his hunting trap?
Well, too bad you didn't say that before. That may have stopped the wolf.
No, I set it up before the wolf had got him, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I see.
What
I
else?
see.
Is there anything in the trap?
A rabbit.
Hey.
Cool. More things to skin, I guess.
No, I'll take this one with, and I'll do it for. I'll use it for lunch for us.
Wonderful.
Already off to a wonderfully chaotic start.
oh god.
I love it.
Look, we just woke up and the goblin was in the Yamcha pose next to the exploding wolf. Okay, it just happened.
Like, poor Wart.
I hardly knew him.
I
Or
didn't
whatever
know
his
him
name
because I was asleep when he came, and I was still asleep when he went.
I was fully gonna have him be like, make the decision when he woke up. I was just like, accompany y'all for a little bit until y'all mentioned Red Forest, and then he'd dip. No, someone fell asleep on shift and a wolf got it.
Hey, look, man. Blame the dice, not me.
Blame the DM. He's the story creator.
I rolled, like, okay, Andrew rolled, and I was like, okay, random party member gets woken up by animal, and I included the wizard and the goblin in this, and it just so happened to be the goblin that got rolled on it, and the wolf.
Oh boy.
Understandable.
Chaos.
It was fully the dice said no lovable goblin NPC for you guys.
I mean,
It is what it is. It turned into an alchemy jug and a sad story. Day one. This is going great. great.
This is going.
I'll train a
Truly,
random
this is a-
goblin trainer for an alchemy jug.
Truly, this is a blessed encounter. Nothing. This is not an ill omen. If this happened on my journey, I definitely wouldn't just immediately go home.
First day of adventuring in the books.
So
They'll
we
drink
can-
some tea in his honor.
we pack up and continue on our fucking way.
Yep.
Land adventures aren't so
Alciofo
different from the ocean.
will string up his dried peppers on the side of the cart just to have them continue drying.
Okay. As you guys kind of travel, it takes another. We'll skip this part because there's not a whole lot that's gonna happen here.
I just want to forage for like some edible mushrooms while we go along.
Sure, give me 2 different survival checks.
I will help on at least one of those.
17.
Well, it's a 20 and a 17.
Yeah, you find plenty of edible, just like sides or things that you could toss into a stew. Like some mushrooms, you do find like a nice little berry patch. A little closer to Red Forest that you check first, since, considering where you're going, this could be very well be a problem. They are not poisonous. But yeah, you find a good few little things that you could snack on, essentially.
Okay, continue.
Next 2 days go without issue. I'm expediting this part. You
Okay,
guys,
that's fine. That night I would have like sautéed the mushrooms with like the rabbit to make some food. But yeah,
Yeah.
That's not gonna last a few days, so that's why it's gotta be done then.
It's like a bonus ration.
yeah, bonus meal. You guys travel to here, where there is a small village. Probably 10, 15 houses total. As you guys kind of pull up, the people here look gaunt. Like, these are what you would expect of people who might live on the outside of a murderous forest. They're all kind of more leaner built. Like, they're all prepared to run. As you guys kind of pull up, they all notice you. They get excited for a moment that you might be a merchant trade. And it's just like, oh, no. An older human kind of walks up to you, and he's just, my friends, what brings you by?
A foolhardy journey into the Red Forest. Yes, I know.
He kind of nods, and he turns to the woman next to him. The woman that has walked up now is the best dressed person here in this town. Like, everyone's got, decent clothing. She is, like, immaculately dressed, and you can even tell Karis and Brahm that there looks to be, like, a chain shirt under her clothing. And the two of you notice almost instantly. The others, as she gets a little bit closer, you notice she has the symbol of the Mother Death on her. He kind of turns to her and he's just like, some foolhardy adventures for you two. Remember, my lady. And she just kind of overlooks you. She's like, she looks inquisitively. He's like, they're planning on entering the forest. She kind of nods and she's like, looks to all of you. She's like, is this a suicidal mission or?
Oh yes, we all just wanted to go in and string ourselves up by the branches. Make a great display.
Why would you
Karis
call it
points
a
towards-
suicidal mission?
There's rumors of some potential points of interest inside. And it's a request from a very interesting client, kind of like neck, like turn to the person in the cart. His story, you won't believe his story, so I don't think it's worth having him recount.
She'll nod. and she'll say, I will make a prayer for all of you, and that you succeed in at least making it back out of the forest alive. I don't know how deep you're planning on going, but be careful as you get closer to the center. There's been some youth that have gone in there in the last few years, and that has only made some of the monsters more bold.
Oh, wonderful. Immediately casts mage armor on himself,
That's fair.
specifically using my warlock slot.
Yep. You guys kind of leave the cart with the people.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, like, at this point we're off-roading it. We might as well leave it with these folks.
Mhm.
Oh, also, I leave the envelope with, like, I guess I'll put a gold with it to get it transported to Greenacre.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that-
assuming this lady is like a head of a local temple that helps organize. It wouldn't be hard to convey. It's like, hey, the next time there's merchants coming, like heading north back towards Crossroads, can you tell them to pass this along to like a courier?
She'll nod, and
Yay.
she'll say, "I'll just have one of the youth, kind of run it along. We have a direct line to Greenacre, so we can have them
Wonderful.
run it."
Good.
I'll be sure to bring the jug with me, but I'll leave some of the extra pots and stuff. Just bring like one main pan.
Okay.
Man, now I'm gonna be carrying my full load of stuff. That's unfortunate.
It's fine. If you get over encumbered, just beg the Goliath to carry.
I was
like,
about to
5 pounds.
offer anyway.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if anyone had any RP they wanted to do in the travel, please do so now before we enter the murder forest.
Mm.
Is there any?
Before we concertedly enter the murder forest, this would probably be the first time Leek does this. We will spend a sorcery point and charge our 2 runes. You'll see on the back of his right hand and kind of swirling in the center of his forehead this golden rune that, while set, the flow of magic kind of gives it this pseudo in-movement look.
To spirally.
The one on the forehead is like what you see in the picture. The one on his right hand is a rune in Giant.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah. Which you would see is the Giant word for hope.
I definitely would, because I could read it, because it shares the script with Dwarvish. But
Then both of you would see that it says hope currently.
huh.
And that's the hand he's holding his staff with.
Lad, is that giant or dwarvish in nature? He says he's
Oh.
kind of like squinting one eye at it.
Giant. It's was a family language of mine. Half the time I don't think about what it says. It's I'm feeling hopeful. I guess I am. It's
You must have
usually
one
different
strange-looking
time.
family tree.
Oh yes, very strange. Very interesting though.
For sure. Okay, well...
Yeah, above game, what the rune says depends on his mood when he makes it.
So, you're a goddamn mood ring.
Yeah, I'm a fucking light bright. Once I get to 5 levels in Sorcerer, I start glowing if I'm maxed out on charges. I start emitting light.
Something, if we rub it enough, it'll change color.
Wait a minute.
Ew.
Yeah, because I can charge my runes and they're just there until long rest. So we're just gonna preempt that shit now. Technically, it should be part of my mage armor ritual. Gonna start doing that now.
That's fair. Brahm will kind of waddle over to Brine and just kind of tap him on the leg with his staff a little bit, just looking directly up at someone twice as tall as him. Big lad, are you tired of all this hardtack that we've been chowing down on for the most part?
No, I mean, I'm quite seasoned with unseasoned. Why? What do you guys?
Well, if you want me to cook up whatever we kill in there, I would recommend you grab the rest of my supplies over there. It's a little much for me to carry through the forest.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no problem. Easy for me.
I mean, it's only like 10 pounds or so it's not that much, but it's just like the big pot on the dwarf back might be a little, yeah. I should get a walk.
Oh god, I'm gonna look like the fucking mask merchant from Majora's Mask, aren't
You just
I?
set down your massive pack before you start fighting. I assume that's what most adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Well, alrighty.
I am not currently at my carry capacity, so I'll hold on to it. I'll just drop my pack when I do stuff.
I too am like only halfway to carry capacity, and I'm at 268 pounds.
Man, I'm at 102 out of 120.
Just because he hasn't talked in a minute, what is Alciofo doing in all this now that we're off road? I'm assuming he collected his peppers, but is he doing anything else extra?
Yeah, once they're sufficiently dry, he's kind of just gonna get them in a bowl, get a little pestle on them, grind them up until they are factual black pepper ground. He's gonna tie them into a couple of little burlap sacks.
Understood.
Are you going to be tossing that into people's eyes?
Yeah.
I like the tactic.
It's just gonna
You
be
should
the
try
fucking.
flowers sometimes. It's very combustible when it's in the air.
Oh gosh, yeah. I've been in a powder explosion or two.
Noted.
What kind of job do you have?
Tachi, how many of these can I make, do you think?
Me?
Tachi.
Yeah, you.
I have colored past.
We'll say 3.
I lived in a bandit commune. Don't worry about it.
Bandit, those sound contradictory.
Yes, it is. Very much so. Well, I mean, was. It's all burnt down now. Don't worry about it.
That is the most sense you've made so far. Turns to our quest giver. How are you feeling? Like, checks in, is he doing okay? How are you feeling?
He's just kind of like, at the comment of combustible and flour, he is furiously writing notes.
It really is bad. I'll say.
Not if you're 30 feet away.
Yes, but it is if you're 5 feet away.
Surely there are better things to. Let's keep going.
Yes.
How am I the one that deals with fire all the time, yet I've blown up myself up less than you guys?
I was caught in a time issue. I don't necessarily normally deal with evocation magics.
Accidents happen. Nah.
And then we don't talk about the bandits.
Yeah. Just don't. They're okay. It's fine.
He just kind of like cocks his head at that. He's just like, well, I guess we're going to enter this so-called death forest.
I'm just gonna ritual fucking speak with animals again.
Leaked will ask, just out of curiosity, was this forest known for anything else specific in your, we'll say your time?
The forest was just a forest when, in my time, the ancient city, well, I guess in your time it would be ancient, but the city that I grew up in, it usually stayed here. It would occasionally fly to some areas for research, or there were some islands out in the sea that we would love to get to, which that's another just little, like, all of you know, the few islands that are out there, there's nothing habiting them.
Uh-huh.
And he's just like, yeah, we would just casually fly out the city to some of the islands and do either some trading or get some merchant with the folks out there.
Folks.
Noted. Just figured I'd check if you had any helpful insights. I think you might be the one gaining a bit more insight than we are, but just stay close, please.
He literally, he's like, looks at it, he's like, it wasn't always red.
How curious.
It was literally...
Let's find out why together.
And he'll-
The blood
no.
of the innocents.
I was trying to keep that part not said.
Yeah, I mean,
How much
There's
would
lots
you
of
need to paint a
red
single
things.
tree, let alone a whole forest? I don't want to think about that. Let's move on.
Probably about 15 goats.
there are other red things. Let's go.
The donkey's just like, fuck them.
The goat that is miles away. The donkey that's miles away.
Well, wait a second. What insight can the villagers give us about the monsters that purportedly live in this forest?
Retroactive inquiry.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know where we were.
Yeah, so before y'all leave, let's... As you're asking the people, give me... Whoever wants to ask. Give me... your choice between 3 checks. You have Arcane, History, or Persuasion.
History.
My question is, like, I'm not
That
sure
is
if
not
I'd
my
be
wheelhouse.
inclined to even check that, because...
Oh,
it might just be it is what it is.
Licked, before you even entered the forest, you noticed a fairly large raven just kind of perched on one of the trees, kind of looking at you. And as you notice it, it like meets your eye and flies away from the forest.
Yep,
Away from the forest. Oh, wonderful.
yep, that's fine.
I'm gonna roll a history check to...
What were the 3 checks you said that we could do?
Arcane,
Check.
History, or Persuasion.
Boop.
None of which are my bag.
What are the monsters like?
Alciofo. As you're kind of talking to some people, just trying to piece together what you know just off of memory, hearing them describe like either what they've seen or what they've heard. The person you get the best info from is actually the cleric. You converse with her, and she tells you, I have seen the smallest thing that I've seen kind of roaming the forest, getting a little bit closer as they are becoming more bold, are what look to be like dire wolves, but their eyes are red, and they are... Most dire wolves are more territorial. You come into their area, they'll attack you. These have been much more ferocious. They'll come into the town to try and attack people. We will have nightly men like keeping an eye with spears and an alarm bell in case they get too close. There's been reports of things that look like humans walking about in the woods. But when the youths or whoever was adventuring in the forest got too close to them, the survivors would say they would disappear, and friends would start dying. There's many, many monstrosities in these woods, and we don't know even a quarter of them.
Thank you for your insight, though.
And yeah, the best you can think is dire wolves, but there's something fucky with them. And the humanoids could be any number of things, but you think maybe like quicklings?
That sounds way too creepy to be a quickling.
Close enough for me. Cool.
It's
Alright.
it's definitely fucked.
Love to hear it.
Also, the cleric wits out all of you. If you die in the forest, do not expect a proper burial. We have not recovered a single body of anyone who has died in the forest, because if we try, that only adds more bodies.
Oh, we love that.
Wonderful. Not very courage-inspiring, but sure.
Oh, don't worry about that kind of thing. It happens all the time.
It's fine. By the time this journey is done, we'll have killed more than triple our number in wolves and other monstrosities.
Yay.
And then
Likely.
we'll be dissatisfied with pay. But that's okay.
Most likely.
Honestly, that jug is already worth a penny if
Yes.
the family doesn't want it back.
Well, I mean...
What family?
Whoa,
Like, slightly further to back.
We've sent his personal effects that we can send. We're keeping the jug.
I'm not disagreeing. We probably need it more than them.
Ah, yes, spoken like true adventurers.
That shit is mine.
Wart's
All right.
Wart's looking from heaven, just kind of like nodding, like, yes, yes.
I like tea, okay?
Alright. Back into the present at the
Yes.
the fuck forest.
Mhm.
The start of the day or the end of the day?
This would be like early morning that you guys are getting like to the proper tree line.
Oh, wonderful.
Alright, do the full fresh day, full ritual armor and the runes and the bub.
Okay.
I'm gonna have
cool.
to switch out some spells, I guess.
Yeah.
The Artificer list.
Yeah, any of you people with your
Pretty sure that has
preparations, prepare
alarm.
for the fuck forest.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, me, Marshall.
The two marshals just kind of being like, eh.
No, I'll
Just stretch
try
it.
and put on my
Just
chain.
doing some stretching. Like
The,
What? It's a ritual. Easy.
if you do
I am
morning
ready to do things.
If you do morning stretching, Leaked will reluctantly join you. The form is not the same, but there's a weird, uncomfortable grace to it.
As you guys kind of get to the tree line, Taurus and Brom, both of you notice claw marks on the trees, and Leaked, you would actually have advantage of this considering your heritage. You would also notice what look to be wolf like scratch marks, like the kind of dire wolf kind of marks.
Cool.
I think those are marks for territorial reasons, right?
Hmm.
She squints at it. She's not trained in nature or survival, so she's assuming.
We need to get pretty far back into the forest, correct? Would it be
Do
best-
we have a rough estimate? Yeah,
Yeah.
because he pointed out where it would be. About make a little circle, Tachi,
Wasn't it
about
like
the rough.
all
Oh
Yeah.
God,
It-
the very back of the forest.
Yep.
Oh, wonderful.
Would it be advised to try to skirt a bit north and go more along the mountain line? I assume the worst
Can I do-
territorials are probably more center.
Can I do a nature
Most
check to
likely.
see if there's if I can recall anything fucked about those mountains or not?
Yeah, give me
That's a good question. I
That's
didn't
That's a
think
good
that
question,
one.
Mega Man.
nature, or anyone can give me history.
I did an 18
I
nature.
have
I have
neither.
proficiency in history, so I'll
I'm good at history, and if anyone's
not
thingy,
my type
no,
of history.
Alright, Alciofo and Brom. And actually, Brian would know a little bit something about those mountains. So, Brian, give me a check.
I would know.
Just
What-
something a little bit.
You might know.
For what?
The
What's it?
Roll.
this mountain range history.
Gotcha.
Memory failing.
Man, I sure do like rocks.
I
You
heard
like-
about this
you-
once, but I can't
Look,
think of it.
You
I've never seen it from this angle. It
Yeah,
doesn't look like
it-
the mountain I think it is. Like,
Exactly.
I got-
you kind of look like it, and it's like, is this the mountain range that connects to the mountains around Haven? I don't fucking know. Alciofo and Braum, both of you would know. Braum would know that this is actually kind of a pretty treacherous mountain range. That's the reason Greenacre is kind of protected where it's at, and it's only been attacked once in the, centuries that it's been there. It's a little harder to navigate. Alciofo, you would know two things about these mountain ranges. One, this mountain range is the hardest to navigate because there's a lot of sheer cliffs and things like that. Also, there is a story about these mountains.
Ooh, story time.
There is a potential spirit that roams these mountains that no one knows what it is guarding, what it is doing, but it is a knight that has never rested that will kill anyone who gets too close to it. And he patrols the entire mountain range, and the few attempts to converse or move him out of the mountain range have been unsuccessful.
Yeah, we're just gonna go through the forest.
I was more suggesting not the mountains itself, just like more along, like travel
the
the
space
forest along
between the
outer
forest and
edge.
Yeah. That's what I figured Dylan meant
where
too.
the forest is sparse.
Yeah.
Trying not to walk through the center where all the fuck shit is,
Well-
and also the wolves are most likely to hold more territory inward and more towards places of food, less
Rather than
random
the barren.
points or like near the mountain.
I do want to point out that in
And
a
then
lot of
the
cases
forest
with
will give us cover from the mountain things.
I just want to point out that in a lot of like mountainous foresty areas, the forest does go up the mountainside. Like
It does.
for like a good while. Like think like Appalachia.
Yeah.
The forest is up most of the mountain too, so it's just now you're climbing steep sideways in forest.
There's
as well.
also well, here's the thing. I'm only getting this far because the league does have proficiency in survival. Having the mountains on your left in view the whole time helps you not get fucking lost.
Ooh.
Yep.
That is
True.
also helpful.
And if we're getting to the far end, we can have a clean path. Mountains on the left all the way there, mountains on the right all the way back.
Yeah, I'm not against it. I just want it to be known that there
Yeah.
is still issues.
Oh yeah, it's gonna go up. It just
Yeah, you'll still,
then we
instead of being more along like this line.
I cannot see line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
oh,
it
there,
made
yeah,
it
I
like
see it.
gray.
Yeah,
Okay.
I see it.
You know I see it. It popped up.
Yeah. Instead of being like that line, since that is more up the mountainside,
It
you
would be in
guys,
the forest near there.
yeah, you guys would be more along like this.
Yeah, that about makes sense.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's fine. That's yeah. I just want to suggest instead of us just trying to barrel in a straight fucking line through the center of it.
Mm-hmm.
And hear me out. Let's
Half
do the
landmark.
opposite. Let's go along the coast and fight mud crabs every 5 feet till we get there.
Fucking, I
No
don't
way.
care if we get Nern root. I
Why do I-
refuse.
Why do I hear fight music?
Yeah, I
Dun,
can't.
dun,
I fast
dun,
travel
dun,
right now.
You cannot rest while enemies turn your back.
Someone grabbed like 2 miles back, still chasing.
It better have a top hat and monocle. I gotta say.
No, it's gonna be one of the fucking Oblivion mud crabs where they also have 1,000,000 fucking HP for no reason.
Well, with that, I think we have a course in mind. I think everyone agrees the logic of the mountain. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let's get going.
Well, let's hop to it.
Hop to it. As you guys decide to progress through the mountain, or through the kind of like edge of the mountainside into the red forest, that is where we're going to end session for tonight.
Okay.
Oh, not even a combat?
This is session
God damn
0.
it.
Yeah, it's session 0. Yeah.
He framed it so that he wouldn't have to go long and feel obliged, which honestly I respect. Marshmallow will thank him.
That is also fair.
Yeah, session 0 planned to be a little bit shorter. I did expedite the travel just because I did want to end at a decent note instead of just like, oh, y'all get to town, we'll end there. No. You guys are properly going to be entering the Red Forest. And yeah, we'll see.
Right before we start the bullshit.
Right before the bullshit starts,
Enter
yes.
the battle marathon forest.
Oh, yeah.
That said, we did get a
heard
magic
about
item session 0, which is really nice.
That magic item does functionally nothing except for RP.
Hey, it's cool.
It's
nice.
basically just RP because, like Outlander Druid, all of our food and water is realistically taken care of forever already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's just the fact that it has a bunch of like sauces and stuff that since I kind of dungeon meshied it a little bit, you know.
I just want to
Good.
say, Tachi,
Yeah.
you're an absolute beast for revealing that it was a sword right away. I wanted to have that be a thing that brought up when the combat happened.
Sorry.
Oh,
You're an absolute piece.
I am sorry for that because I did not realize that was intended to be that way.
Oh, that's my own fault for not clarifying.
Yes.
I figured you would let me describe my character instead of describing part of it for me.
I actually totally forgot about that wooden sword until you just reminded me.
Yep.
That's fine.
Oh, I thought you were just swinging a wooden sword. Okay.
At that time, yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
think it was
yeah.
your wooden sword.
Yeah.
Because I
yeah.
described wrapping it up and putting it.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, you
okay,
did.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to assume you guys pay attention even if you don't.
No. I mean, I understood. I just thought it was a separate thing rather than a thing. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, you know.
All right, battle marathon in the forest. I can't wait to make Cam just dig like a foot deep into the dirt just to have cover.
I will be throwing a lot of fire.
I will be throwing
Oh,
a
boy.
single anchor, but many times.
I really hope that we manage the fire. I
I have elementalism. I can help put out fire unless it turns
Okay.
into an inferno.
I
Okay.
love the idea of potentially burning down the Red Forest and releasing all the monsters that are in here.
Well said.
A lot of them would
listen,
die.
If they survive the fire, they'll figure it out.
I also will say
Fuck that
that
village.
that I presume that the side that the that the Red Forest is on probably receives more rainfall than the other side because of its closeness to the coast. So it's probably damper wood, and also like trees themselves aren't, the most immediately flammable things unless they're covered in pollen or they're dry and dead. And I don't think the Red Forest is dry and dead.
Like, worst comes to worst, I do have create or destroy water prepared. So
Yeah.
we're
There's
fine.
just one dude running around throwing flour on all the trees in the Red Forest.
We don't have any flour right now.
Well, no,
Nope.
it's the air and flour mixture that makes the explosion, not the flour.
Go
itself.
watch Goblin Slayer.
I cannot wait to kill something with my stick.
All right.
Wait to sword things in the face.
I
Thank-
can't wait. I can't wait for you to sword things.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We will be back probably within a month.
Within a month.
Please be
Because
excited for soon.
please be excited. There will be an update in the Discord if you are a part of it. If not, why aren't you? Come join the Discord. Just use the command, !Discord to get an invite link.
I will surely ignore anyone who does.
Or my link bot is broken for that. I'll fix that for next time.
Great.
Have a good night, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Laters.